As a kid, I dreamt of the day when I turned 18 and no one would tell me what to do. Little did I know, one day, at 30, the whole world would still be telling me I was living my life wrong. If you can relate, I hope this can help. I always thought that once I get a degree and pay my own bills, I will get to live my life the way I want. And I do, kind of. Only I didn't realize to what extent it was going to be challenging to live authentically and apologetically me when my idea of a fulfilled life differs from the mainstream. It's not glamorous and it doesn't result in some awards on my wall. My life took a few unexpected turns, which gave me a few opportunities to practice resisting peer, parental, and societal pressure. Coming from a small town in Poland and a normal, modest Polish family, I first decided to take a loan to go and study abroad, and I picked a degree in human rights. Going into debt to work for nonprofits? Great idea. After a few years of working in the nonprofit industry, I thought, why not try working in the tech industry? So I decided to leave everything behind, make a career transition at 25, which resulted in a few side eyes from my peers. So you're going to defend the rights of outdated hardware? I want to see that. After 6 years in the tech industry and having paid off my student loan, the one that I took years and years back, I decided to give it all up and start again from the scratch, creating content. You're doing what? You're giving up a well-paid job in a respectable company to dance on TikTok? As you can imagine, I made a lot of people angry and/or annoyed along the way. So today I want to share with you some reflections that helped me stay sane and keep the course straight.
I'm sleepwalking through all of my problems alone.
Whenever I argued about something with my dad as an angsty teenager, I would say, "That's dad! Everyone does it!" And my dad would say, "You know that Hitler was democratically elected, right? The majority of people can get things wrong." This one hits hard today, and I got to say, yet again, "Tato, miałeś rację, a ja się myliłam." I still think about this today whenever I feel like I want something because everybody else either has it or wants it. It is true that we can collectively get things wrong, and following the crowd mentality never got anybody anywhere. Getting on the property ladder is one example that comes to mind. Home ownership used to be seen as a symbol of success and stability, but nowadays, first of all, it's ridiculously expensive, and many experts say that renting out actually works out cheaper in the course of your life, and it may make more sense given how volatile the job market is and how many people will be forced to move in search for jobs. So buying a house only makes sense if your personal circumstances allow for it and if you really want to buy a house. So don't be afraid to think independently and question the status quo. By questioning the societal norms and making informed decisions, we can live more authentic and fulfilling lives. Imagine you're in a restaurant and you're looking at the menu, feeling a bit indecisive, so you let other people order first. Maybe you'll get inspired. They all order lasagna. You're not a big fan of lasagna, but now you're thinking, they all ordered it. It must be really good in this place. So you order lasagna.
I'll have lasagna, please.
And then you take the first bite and you know this was a mistake. Sometimes when you don't know what you want, you tend to choose whatever other people chose. This is what happened to me when I finished my undergraduate degree. I was really scared, had no idea what to do with my life, so I did what everyone else around me was doing, which was to go on and do masters. Looking back, I wish I took a bit more time to make that decision. Maybe a gap year to try out different jobs to see what I want to study and if I want to study further. But I was full of doubt, so I just followed the crowd. What should I have done instead? What to do when you actually have no idea what to do with your life? I think we should normalize taking time to make important life decisions and trying out different things before you decide. The society not only imposes certain answers, but it also imposes the questions that we ask ourselves, such as, should I go to university or should I get married? We get so fixated on these pre-selected questions that we are blind to the fact that there may be other important or interesting questions we should be asking ourselves, such as, should I follow my artistic passions? Should I travel the world? Should I start a business? Should I follow my heart and see where it leads me? Give yourself the permission to have a totally different set of questions to the vast majority of people. I can't guarantee that it will be smooth sailing, but I can guarantee that it will take you some interesting places other people haven't been to. There is this tradition in China where when the baby is 1 year old, it is put on the floor and there are loads of different items around it. Whichever item the baby picks first, it symbolizes its future. So money means wealth, a pen means being a writer, a book is being a scholar, a stethoscope is being a doctor, and a long string means a long and healthy life. I heard the story from a Chinese and a Korean YouTuber, and they said that, well, all items are good, and you would think that most parents would want the string for a long and healthy life, but secretly all parents want the money or the stethoscope, meaning either wealth or being a doctor. I don't think that's specific to Asian countries. I think all over the world, parents have this ideal scenario or the perfect job that they wouldn't want their kids to do. In Poland, where I come from, vocational and artistic paths such as being an artist, being a writer, being a dancer or stand-up comedian, they are seen as a luxury for people who don't have to worry about money. So what if it took all your courage to pick a career that your family does not approve of? What if you defied the family tradition to be a doctor or a lawyer? Or what if your family put some other form of pressure on you? Maybe they wanted you to get married early, or maybe they don't think a certain career is suitable for you because of your gender. Maybe overall they don't approve of your life choices. What then? I think the first question to ask ourselves is, are they coming from a good place? My family worried a lot when I told them that I'm quitting corporate to pursue content creation. And when I really tried to understand why they behave the way they do, I realized it's because they know what it's like to struggle with money. They know what it's like to have an uncertain future, and they don't want that for me. It's not that they don't necessarily think I'm good enough to make it, it's just they want me to be safe. And once I realized this, it really changed how I speak to them and it shifted our conversations. We are lucky enough to have people in our lives who care for us to be happy and safe, even when their ideas of happiness and safety differ from ours, and that is something to appreciate. But does it mean that we have to follow our family's ideas of what our lives should be? I don't think so. Just as I always say that there is an expiration date on blaming your family for the way your life is now, there is also an expiration date for telling your kids what to do with their lives. It is your life and you have to make your choices and your mistakes and take responsibility for them. It's up to you to assess your situation and decide what risks you're willing to take with your life. One more note here. I think sometimes we tend to think that all pressure is bad. But some of it is actually good and necessary. Diamonds are made under pressure, right? So if people who love us push us to do better, it's not an attack, it's an act of love. As long as they respect our choices and values, if they push us to be the best versions of ourselves, that's something very welcome. I recently rewatched Mulan, the one with true actors, and there is this moment when an evil witch says to Mulan, "If you can't admit who you are deep inside, you'll die pretending. You will never reach your true potential pretending to be something you're not." So it's time to live authentically and to be who you are meant to be. Appreciate good care and advice, but live the life that's true to who you are. There is this saying that to discover your blind spots, you need an inner circle that will give you honest feedback. We all need friends and family who will tell us when we mess up and who will save us from making massive mistakes. So whether it's parents, friends, or colleagues, sometimes there is this lingering question. Should I take their advice? Maybe they know something that I don't. On one hand, it's important to have the humility to know that sometimes people do know better than us. It's important to lean on their wisdom and experience and hindsight. It's better to learn on their mistakes rather than make our own. But on the other hand, what about staying true to your gut feeling? What about the importance of making our own mistakes? And what if they're wrong? One thing that helps me deal with this advice dilemma is asking myself, would I want to trade lives with them? So let's say you are asking your friend for career advice, and they worked all their life in a job that you would not enjoy. Well, maybe you shouldn't be asking them for advice on this. You can love and admire someone without wanting to be in their shoes. You can have totally different ideas of what a happy and fulfilled life looks like, and that's totally fine. So there you have it, a journey of self-discovery, defying expectations and questioning the norms. Remember, it's okay to be different, to carve your own path, and to make your own mistakes. As you navigate this crazy thing called life, stay true to your heart, follow your instincts, and don't let fear hold you back. Surround yourself with people who support you, who love you, but people honest enough to disagree with you. Appreciate all the support and care and advice, but always stay true to yourself. And importantly, stay kind to yourself. Self-doubt is a common struggle, and it takes courage to live authentically. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it, I promise.